Well, Charlie, I got a question from one of my listeners, and the question is that he had not filed tax returns for years, and he wanted to know what he should do from here. What would be your recommendation to him?
You know, this is one of the most common problems that I run across when I'm representing people with tax problems, and usually it starts innocently enough. There's a number of reasons that I hear for not filing. Sometimes because they don't have the documentation, so they don't get around to filing. Sometimes they say that their tax preparer died. I've heard that quite a bit. And then probably the most common one, though, is that they know they're not going to have enough money to pay the tax return. So instead of risking having the IRS garnish their wages and take their bank accounts, they just don't file the returns, assuming that that's going to keep the IRS from actually doing that. But in fact, it's just not true. Now, the IRS really does know that you've made money because they get the reports from third parties, employers, etc. So it's never a good practice to not file the returns because you can't pay the taxes. Now let me give you some of the reasons for this. First of all, not filing the tax return is potentially criminal versus not paying, which is civil. What that means is, yes, indeed, you can go to jail for not filing tax returns. I have a good friend, and I'm not going to give a lot of information because many of you probably know him. Good guy, almost went to jail for a year for not paying his tax returns. So it does happen. It's very serious. You got to make sure you get those returns filed. But beyond the problem with the criminal possibilities is there's a huge fine for not filing your tax returns. It's 5% of the tax due per month versus not filing, which is 0.5% per month. Another problem is that one of my favorite ways of solving tax problems is filing bankruptcy. And I can wipe out a lot of tax debts by filing bankruptcy. But if you don't file the returns, I can't do it.
Well, some very good information, Charlie. We appreciate that. And we want to tell listeners that you will occasionally be on the radio show answering our tax questions. In the meantime, if you want to reach Attorney Charlie Price in Orlando, you can call him at 407-834-0090. Charlie, thanks for being on the radio show today.
Hey, thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Hey, folks, my name is Tom Olsen. The name of the show is Olsen on Law. You're listening to News 96.5.